Hello, I'm Miss Orion, and welcome to Jackass. Did you ever watch
I'm
Jackass?
I'm no, actually.
What?
I haven't seen a single one.
Dude, you probably grew
I
up
know.
normal.
Eh, eh, not so much.
I remember watching the Jackass movies. I saw Jackass 3D.
Ooh. That's how you know it's a good one.
When they used the third movie to call it 3D, yes. The reason I'm saying this is I'm very excited for Netflix to finally have Jackass 4 on their great catalog of content. It is my favorite thing I'm looking forward to now that I've watched the Mike Myers Pentaverant.
Mm-hmm.
Did you hear Mike Myers is back?
Mm-mm. Is
He,
he?
it's okay. It's it's pretty harmless, but it's not exactly funny.
What's he doing?
Um, so imagine the Nutty Professor, where it's a show where Mike Myers plays like 8 different characters,
Okay.
and it's about conspiracy theories.
Interesting.
Yeah. The whole premise of the show is there's 5 like world leaders who are in a secret organization, but the plot twist is instead of looking out for their own self-interest, they're nice and they want to help the world.
Hey.
Yeah, that's it.
Okay, this is wild. Just a quick aside. I'm on Mike Myers' Wikipedia page,
Okay.
looking at his filmography.
Yeah.
I have not seen this for anyone else, but he has 2 listings in his filmography for theme park rides. Apparently, he is credited on the Shrek 4D and theme park ride and the Hurler theme park ride, I- which just looks like a regular fucking roller coaster.
Yes.
But he's credited on it for something. Oh, it's a Wayne's World film theme park.
I love Wayne's World. I need to go
So
there.
that's why he's hey, Wayne's World. It's fine,
Whoa, 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 whoa.
but like two roller coasters based on his characters.
Wayne's World is not the best movie. I will give
Okay,
you that.
Wayne's World is good. They shouldn't have made a sequel.
Should not have made a sequel, but I appreciate their effort.
Yeah.
Anyway,
In movies from this decade.
the big one came out.
Mhm.
Uh, we now live in a post Multiverse of Madness world, and both Kyril and I have saw it. I went to go
Yes.
see it opening night.
I saw
Kyril,
it
you
yesterday.
you just saw it yesterday. That's correct.
Yes, I did.
And we have
Um,
decided not to tell each other our opinions about it yet until
yeah.
on the show.
One thing that I want to get into though,
Yo,
because I've been seeing on Twitter a lot of the Scorsese Marvel is killing cinema thing.
okay.
You know what I'm talking about though, that quote that he has.
You mean the one thing every MCU nerd has like been screeching about for like the last 2 years?
Yep.
Yeah.
Apparently, that was resparked again this week, particularly because the theater at Times Square
Mm-hmm.
had 70 listings every day for Doctor Strange and like nothing else that they were showing.
Now this is cinema.
And I wanted to point out just quickly at the start here that Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness has a $200 million budget. We aren't done with opening weekend, and it already has a listed box office of 450 million.
What? No way. Whoa.
Yeah. So
Holy.
unless somebody wants to find a way to make indie films compete with that, I think things aren't going to change for a while.
Dude, I was seeing a Twitter fight the other day between these two just randos because obviously Multiverse of Madness versus Everything Everywhere All at Once, multiverse films. And
Yes.
people were trying to say like how Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness is a higher quality product because it made more money than Everything Everywhere All at Once, which I don't think that's a fair fight.
That's not how that's. I mean, there's lots of stuff that has made a shitload of money that I would consider the most successful ever, but if they would to, I guess. I guess we'll just always be stuck with The Wizard of Oz being the best movie of all time ever.
Yeah, dude. I mean, why not? People almost died working on that film, so why not just let it
People
have that
did
title?
die.
Hey, we don't talk about the ones that did die. We talk about the ones that almost died.
This is a story of hope.
It's a story about survival.
But yeah, that's why. Big money.
Dude, I cannot believe how much money this movie's made. Wow.
Yeah, it's a lot of fucking money. What is that based on? What are they link? What are they quoting here?
Let's see here. One is
Oh, these are just like unofficial numbers too. It's like people guessing like, yeah, we've sold this many tickets, so
dude.
I'll say though, it's like very clearly sold out pretty much everywhere. I had to really struggle to find a showtime that I could actually see it for just me, just one person trying to find one seat. There was only like 2 or 3 showings at the Celebration Cinema by me that had a single seat open because all the rest were completely sold out.
That's weird because my theater on opening night was not packed at all.
Really?
Yeah. Like it was full, but there was like only 6 people in like the same row of like 20 seats with me and my friends.
Interesting.
Yeah. So, do we want to get into spoilers first or do we want to give first impressions?
We should probably do first impressions.
Multiverse of Madness is not very good as a movie, but I still liked it.
I was talking with some people in another Discord channel, and my 3-word review was see Batman instead. Because having seen, I recently rewatched Batman like last week.
Yeah.
And seeing this so far or so soon after really put them into contrast for me and highlighted some of the areas that this movie failed at, in my opinion.
This movie is not the best.
I think it has pretty substantial issues on the writing side and like the structure of the film itself. It is entertaining, and they do some really cool stuff with it, but I couldn't get over just the structure of it. Just wasn't sound.
This is not a well-written movie. I agree.
Okay, so my thought on it is that it feels like 126 minutes of all second act.
There's like
There's just no breaks.
Yeah.
It's just all go, go, go. All rising. Not even rising action. It's just like it starts off at a 9 and it just stays there the whole time.
It is got some pacing problems, which I'm not sure if I agree. I don't know. This is a very unique movie. I agree.
It is.
It is absolutely interesting as a concept. But yeah, for what you think you're getting into, this movie is not it.
Yep. It's not bad.
No,
to
it's
be clear.
Not bad at all.
Like visually, it is. I think it does what Eternals was trying to do in a much more well-told package, with the over-the-top, let the CGI people just go fucking ham kind of aspect to it.
Yeah.
It does a really good job with that. So you're always going to have something on screen that is engaging, that is going to keep your attention pretty much the whole time. But, excuse me, I really would have liked just like a handful of scenes that were extended that just kind of like slowed down and did some more stuff with the characters.
So it's so hard to talk about a lot of my problems with this movie without getting into the spoilers.
Yeah.
Uh, this movie does like a Mad Max Fury Road type deal where it's one giant
Hmm.
chase scene, essentially.
Yep.
Yes. And you get that literally from the like literal moment it starts. It is just like bam, right there in the chase scene. There's
Yep.
no start.
Yep.
Uh I don't know. Like nothing about this movie is bad, but the way the elements of this film come together, they don't mix well.
I think it needed about 6 more months in the oven.
Yeah. You can kind of
Like,
tell this had a couple
give it a
rewrites.
like. Yeah, it needs just like it needs some more time on the writing side and some more time on the editing side to just piece it together better.
The original cut of this movie was like 2 hours and 40 minutes, and I really want those extra 34 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. I think it needs it.
Yeah. This movie is too short, and because of that, it's got some pacing problems.
That really surprised me about it is how fast it goes. Because like I got up at what I assumed was like pretty early in on it
Yeah.
to go use the bathroom partway through. Like, okay, we got a breath of nothing is exploding right now. I'm gonna run to the bathroom real quick and I'll be back. And I glanced at my phone. It's 45 minutes into the movie. I'm like, what the hell? What's going on?
I tried really hard to get like an idea of what the 3 act structure of this film is.
It's not there.
It's not there. It is hard to pinpoint. Like if you like think about the plot as a whole, you can probably pinpoint it here and
Mhm.
there, but you can't
Yeah.
tell when you're actually in it.
Yep.
Blind, no way to tell at all.
Yep.
Like, let's just get into spoilers, dude, because I don't think
So
there's
I want number grade out of 10.
number grade out of 10.
Yeah.
On a bad day, I'd probably give this like a 7. On a good day, 7.5.
Yeah. I'm going with 6.5.
You see, I want to give it a 6.5, but there are a couple things in this movie that prevent me from going that low.
Yeah. The thing for me is that there's a couple of things that I really like about it that are at the same time kind of problems. So I can't forgive them.
In one way, this is the Doctor Strange movie I've always wanted, but in another way, this is like
Yes.
unfinished.
I have heard that is that people who are familiar with the character beforehand
Yeah.
can appreciate what they're doing a lot better.
Yes. Like, okay, the fact that this was another COVID movie makes me give it a little slack.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Spoiler time.
Okay. So, this movie should be renamed to America Chavez in the Multiverse of Madness.
Yes.
Yes.
I'm still not okay with that name. Now that I've like heard it said a bunch of times,
American
it still
Chavez.
just like doesn't feel like a real name. Yeah.
Yeah, it's not that great of a name.
We need to go to it's a good thing that there's not multiversal versions of her, or else we'd go to Earth 838 and we'd have United Kingdom Chavez.
Oh, I was going to go with Puerto Rico Chavez.
I don't know. I get that it is just a name, but it's probably entirely because I'm in America,
Yeah.
and that's just the only context I have for that. But it always sounds wrong.
No, her name in another universe is United Statesian Chavez. So this movie kicks off in a chase scene. It's literally right there
Yes.
in a chase scene. You have like this big elaborate like background that's all CGI. Doctor Strange is running around with a ponytail because this is Ponytail Strange, and basically this whole thing is to set up America Chavez, who is essentially the main character of this film.
Yep.
But
I was not fond of that decision.
no, I'm not fond of it either. I don't mind American Chavez. She's a good character. Well performed.
Oh no, sorry. I meant opening it up with Chase like that.
Oh, okay.
I think that having America Chavez be more of the main character makes sense. Just as being like the narrative glue that ties everything together.
Yeah.
or else it would be, you would have to do a lot more explaining rather than just showing. Having it be a lot of it from her perspective helps us to just see what's happening rather than having someone tell us about it.
Yes. So American Chavez and Dr. Stephen Strange, Ponytail,
Yep.
are running away from a
And
demon. The demon is just a big CGI monster. Nothing really
yep.
special to it. Uh,
Yep.
they're going after this thing called the Book of Vishanti, which,
Yes.
as a Doctor Strange fan, I'm happy to hear the word Vishanti being thrown around. Do you know what
Mm-hmm.
Vishanti are?
Mm-mm.
I'm not going to spoil it for you. Hopefully they come in the third
Okay.
movie.
Probably.
And the basic idea is once Stephen grabs book, problem goes bye-bye.
Yes.
But the monster ends up winning. Stephen has to decide between killing America and using her quote-unquote power to keep the monster from getting it, or just letting the monster, take her away.
Yep.
In which case, America is like, yo, fuck this shit. I'm out. And we are essentially left with a big question mark as this version of Doctor Strange dies. Oh, wait, his corpse comes with her, too. That's right.
Yes.
Remember that for later, kids. A wink.
It will come back up.
So then we go to main 616 world, which I'm not happy they're calling this world 616 because that's comic universe, but whatever. Where we get Sam Raimi doing what I love Sam Raimi doing in superhero movies, where he's like letting them just live out a moment in their lives, with Strange kind of just going to his ex's wedding, which, real talk, would you go to your ex's wedding?
Yeah.
You would?
Yep.
You're better.
It really depends on like which,
Yeah.
and how long it's been. But like on principle, yeah.
You're a better man than me. Wow.
It totally depends on like the circumstances though.
Yes.
For me, I haven't even seen my what would have been my last ex in like 7 years now.
Damn.
So it's been a while,
Yeah.
Time heals most wounds.
Most wounds. In which case, the whole conceit of the wedding are people who are like, hey, why couldn't you save our fucking lives, Strange? And, oh my god, you're Doctor Strange.
So notably,
Yeah.
the one guy there was the other doctor that from the first Doctor Strange movie, the other surgeon that
Yes.
fucks up.
Nicodemus
Yeah.
West.
Yeah. He looks like shit.
He does look like shit. But he got blipped. That's probably why.
Yeah, but so did Strange,
Yeah. In which case,
I don't
after
know.
this, we're met with the first big action sequence of the movie,
Yep.
where we have Shumagorath. Yes, that's the name of the demon octopus, ladies and gentlemen, that you've been seeing in the trailers, come to invade New York, chasing after America Chavez.
Yep.
What do you think about this scene?
For big action set piece kind of thing, it's fine. I really wanted them to let Wong comes in halfway through the fight.
Yeah.
I was really hoping they would let kind of finish it.
Oh, since he's
And
Sorcerer
that-
Supreme?
Yeah, that just never happens. I want Wong to like be the leader
Yeah.
that he is by the end of it. And it's just they never really have that moment.
Yeah. Well, Steven just wouldn't accept it.
It's always Wong playing second fiddle to Doctor Strange.
Yeah. Like in the comics, he's the Holmes to Strange's Watson, but in this scenario,
But I mean, like having that dynamic of like Wong is the Sorcerer Supreme now that we got in Spider-Man is a really cool idea and makes sense.
Yeah.
And we just don't really get to see that dynamic actually play out.
not too much. Like he yells at Strange throughout the fight. He's like, "Hey, you're supposed to bow when you see me now."
Yeah.
Yeah. And Strange is like, "No,
Bitch.
I saved the universe from Thanos. I think I'm allowed an exception."
Yep.
In which case, after this, they get a little exposition from America about what's going on. That she's being chased by demons throughout the multiverse. And Strange is like, oh, I've seen the ending of WandaVision. Let's go follow up on that plot line. Which,
Yeah, why was it exactly that they went to her in the first place? Was it just like, we need help kind of thing?
no, they recognize there was witchcraft runes on the demon.
That's right.
Yes.
Yeah.
And he's like, huh, Scarlet Witch runes. Scarlet Witch runes. Scarlet Witch. Yes, I'm a great detective.
I will say,
Yeah.
I'm not crazy about how they keep doing this thing in the Doctor Strange universe. Doctor Strange's universe has a big, and I think it's a legitimate problem with overly relying on MacGuffins,
Yes.
where it's just like, oh yes, thing exists, go get thing, or this is person, all who is, fabled and of lore, and the first time we're fucking hearing about it, so it doesn't feel like that.
Yeah, I agree. Uh, and so basically, when we show up to Wanda, it's pretty much just saying, yes, WandaVision is canon. Thank you for asking.
Yep.
Which I don't know how I feel about that, because I feel it cheapens
I don't like it.
Yeah, it cheapens it a little bit for everybody who didn't see WandaVision, where they're basically like, what's the Westview incident?
Yep. I think it would have been. This is getting way ahead. I think it would have been way more interesting to have Wanda, like our Wanda,
Yeah.
in her mourning over the loss of her kids in WandaVision,
Yeah.
be contacted by another one of herself.
Ooh, I like that.
So that it's not literally the same character that's just done this complete 180 and is now just like overtly fucking evil. Like, I don't know. That's the big problem that I have, is that even at the end of WandaVision, we don't get the idea that there is this level of disregard that Wanda seems to have now. And it feels very out of character. The way Wanda handled her loss, or the impending loss, in WandaVision made sense, where she kind of went back to, internalizing that, which was visually shown with how her clothing was being shown in that. And then she gets the Darkhold net and goes and starts studying it. But we don't get this idea that she clearly has of almost like malice.
Yeah.
It feels very, very wrong.
Well, they're supposed to be saying the Darkhold corrupts Wanda, but at the same time,
but
it's
like the same problem with everything else, where it's just like, yep, this is how it is. Deal with it.
Yeah.
It's like, come on, you can't give us any more than that. You can't show us. They do such a good job of showing and not telling, except for all the things that they need to just tell away.
Yeah. So at that point, there are the rules of this game right here. Wanda wants America so that she can travel through the multiverse to go get her babies in another universe.
Yep.
Strange is like, no, because reasons. Which reasons come later, but still.
Yes. I mean, I feel like the good reason that starts it off is that it is just kind of fucked up.
Yeah. Well, she's
That
essentially just stealing children.
Well, it's more that because it sounded like she was going to go to another universe, right?
Yeah.
Or another multiverse. So her plan is that she's going to kill a child in current world.
Yep.
So she can go to another world, kill herself in that world to take her own place, and then be that world's Wanda, even though she's not.
Kidnap her own children. Well, another version of her's children.
Yeah. It's kind of fucked up.
Yeah. And they don't elaborate about how fucked up that is. Just kind of let you leave on that. Because now we need to have a big action set piece. A bigger actioner set piece.
Bigger actionier.
With a bowl. Where Wanda attacks all the sorcerers in Kumarataj.
Yes.
Which
and wins.
Yeah. I didn't like this sequence at all. This was like the worst part of the whole movie for me. Because I didn't get a sense of stakes because there's only 3 characters I'm going to care about: Wong, Strange, and America, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you're introducing all these sorcerers who are like, hello, I'm fodder. Please care about me. So when she kills me, it's cool.
Yeah. Well, and then they have these characters like, okay, this is the thing that really weirded me out. Like, are we supposed to know who these people are? Because at the credits, they get like named credits before Rachel McAdams.
What? Really?
The fucking minute. Do you know what the Mentor's guy name is?
Vaguely. I don't remember on top of my head, but I do know he has
I
a
don't.
name.
But he had his picture fucking thrown up there. It's like they thought they had the next Korg.
Yeah.
When I don't even think the guy had a line of dialogue.
He was fucking okay. He had one line of dialogue. I do remember that because I was wondering if he was. Yeah, I was wondering if he was played by somebody famous because I was trying to recognize the voice. Because
I don't think so.
I saw him.
I didn't recognize any
stuff.
of the names at the end, at least.
I
feel like they must have had some other cut of this that had like a half an hour of these people being in it with Wong doing something.
Yeah, it had to.
And they just completely cut it out.
Yeah.
Because it's so out of nowhere.
Yeah.
And they have, like, in fairness, they have good character designs, you know?
Yeah.
They're not badly designed characters. They just don't do anything. They are there, then they all get their asses kicked, and then they get tortured to make Wong give up the location.
Yeah. So, essentially, from here...
sorry. I just want to say, it reminds me a lot of the, more than... They wanted it to be Korg, but it ends up being Thor's friends.
There you go. That's good.
Yeah.
So, from here, they lose terribly.
Yes.
And there's, again, no real sense of scale of how strong Wanda's supposed to be. 'Cause she's just going through them like paper.
This is where I have started to have that problem, where it's like, okay, what are her powers?
Yeah. Like, we know
what can she do? We know she can do this like shit with the red magic garbage.
Yeah.
And we know that she's gotten some additional powers from the Darkhold stuff.
Mm-hmm.
We know that she can make people hallucinate, basically.
Yeah.
So we have that's established. But now she can also just freely travel through the mirror dimension like it's nothing.
I liked the mirror dimension sequence visually.
It was really cool.
Yes.
But it's like, this is something she can just do now, I guess. Okay.
Yeah. It was established like earlier that the only way to get out was like to pull a Spider-Man and just kick Doctor Strange's ass and then walk out.
Yeah.
Yeah. But he's like, I'm not.
And this is an instance where Doctor Strange isn't even there.
Yeah. He just throws her in there.
She's just trapped. Yeah.
And then she's like, oh, reflections. I can use reflections to get out. And that's never been established before.
Yeah, it's just something she can do.
Yeah. She just gets like the edit button.
Yep.
But whatever. It was a cool sequence. I'll let it slide.
Yeah, it was cool. It was very interesting to watch.
The whole point of her in this movie is that she's the big scary monster that's supposed to break the rules.
Yep.
So then Chavez basically says, let's get out of here. And she and Strange get thrown through the multiverse thanks to her powers.
Yep. And it's the same thing of she starts to get tortured, killed, basically.
Yeah.
And that triggers her like fight or flight that zorps her through the multiverse, taking Strange with her.
Good use of the term fight or flight, because that's foreshadowing for later, kids.
Yeah.
And then we get like another cool sequence where we see all these theoretical multiverses they're passing through.
Yep.
Which
it does a very good job of establishing the variety of the multiverses in a very short period.
Yes. Too bad we won't go see that many of them.
Yeah. I want to see Paint Universe.
Microsoft Paint Universe.
Oh my god.
So
I do like how they just like threw that in there in the middle, and she references it again later. Like, yeah, don't go there. It fucking sucks.
They should have made more jokes like that. Really, they should have.
Yeah, that was good. That's like clever and endearing.
Yeah. And it gives you a sense of her character, that she is a little more
Yeah.
experienced in this shit than most other people.
Yeah. So we end up in this universe that's kind of utopia-ish.
It's
I
really
think it's fair to
green.
call it that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's green, it's clean.
It's nice. They have pizza
Yeah.
poppers.
They have pizza poppers.
They have Bruce
I do
Campbell.
like the quick bit of commentary, how she's just like, how he's just like, like rule number one or rule number two, whatever the fuck it is get food.
Yeah.
And she just walks up with food, and he's just like, well, don't you have to pay for that? No, most universes food is free. It's kind of weird that yours isn't. And then it turns out that food is not free. But I did like that quick bit of commentary of just like, yeah, here's this one really basic thing, and our universe is kind of fucked up.
What I love here is that Bruce Campbell shows up as like, give me my money for that food. And they don't have the right money because it's a different universe.
Yeah.
And then so Strange just makes him punch himself in the face for 3 weeks, which is
Yes.
unnecessarily cruel. Super cruel.
That's a long time. Realistically, he would die.
Realistically, yes. How does he eat? How does he drink?
Yeah.
How does he sleep?
I guess he can use his other hand for that.
Oh, you're right. So
But,
then
yeah.
we pass by a contrived emotional sequence because we didn't know where else to put it in the movie.
Yeah.
A memory place that tells us America's origin and remind us that Stephen Strange is essentially being cucked.
Yeah.
Yes. And
We
then
get to see what should have been the opening sequence, the opening scene.
that would have been good.
Would have been way better.
Would have been so much better.
And then we get to see the fact that America Chavez has two moms for more than half of a goddamn second before they get blipped to who fucking knows where.
Yeet! Does that make her a Disney princess since your parents just kind of went the fuck out?
Oh. It depends. They'd have to be royalty to start.
Okay, you're right.
Yeah. But yeah, I would have loved to have seen that scene be like 2 minutes long, maybe a little bit shorter than that, and have it finish with like her opening up the portal for the first time, going into the opening like title sequence.
Spanish Chavez and UK Chavez making America Chavez.
Because does it open on the title sequence, the Marvel, and then it cuts straight to Chavez and Doctor Strange? Or
That-
is I have
yeah.
that backwards?
No, you're right.
So I don't get why it doesn't like start with this slower thing of here's America as a kid, warped away, title sequence, then chase scene.
Yes.
So it's not just so much like bam, 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 get going right away.
Would have been harder to edit out for our Chinese overlords, which the movie was still banned in China.
Was it really?
Yeah. And now that I think
I-
about it, it's probably because of that
Yeah,
scene.
I hadn't thought about it, but yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
Also, America wears the, LGBTQ plus pride pin the whole movie. That probably also pissed off the Chinese overlords.
Yep. I could see them cutting it from like cut out like a half an hour of stuff. Like it sort of seems like they did
Yep.
to appease them, only for it to be fucking worthless.
Release the
God,
Raimi
I hope we
cut.
get release the Raimi cut.
Hashtag. I'm all for it. I want more of this movie because it needs more.
I'll say apparently there's a 4-hour cut of the Batman.
Oh no.
I want to see that.
It's
That's
definitely
a 4-hour movie I will be happy to watch.
that's definitely got the Joker scene in it.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Anyway, meanwhile, Wanda and Wong are, just having this great little conversation about parenting and whatnot. When Wanda's like, well, Strange broke my Darkhold. How the fuck am I going to get around now? Wait, no. I'm sorry. No, she dreamwalks.
No, Strange didn't.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is when they do the dream walk thing for the first time.
Yes. Dreamwalking is essentially going to sleep in your world and waking up in a different universe and controlling that body.
Yes. They established before this that dreams are actually you looking into another universe.
Yes. Which is pretty fucked up.
Yep.
Because they
Show us the multiverse where Doctor Strange is constantly being chased by a clown.
that was Wong.
Was that Wong?
It was Wong.
Okay, well, same thing though.
Yeah, I want a movie of that. Wong in the Multiverse of Madness.
That would have been a great post-credit scene.
That
Just
would have
like
been
a
so
minute
good.
straight
Yeah.
of Wong screaming his head off with a big fucking clown chasing him in a void.
Yes. Sam Raimi, release the Raimi cut. You know you took footage of that. So Wanda dreamwalks, and she
Okay, no,
has.
before this,
Oh yes.
um, Strange in America on 838 Earth, where they
Yeah.
end up, find out that because they go to try and find that Earth's Doctor Strange,
Mm-hmm.
only to find out that Doctor Strange died fighting Thanos.
Yes.
Instead, they find that the Sorcerer Supreme on this world is Mordo,
Yes. Does anybody remember
who
Mordo from the last movie?
I am kind of disappointed that this is the first we've seen of him since.
I know he's a bigger
I
character in the
love the
comics.
character. I love the character so much. And seeing him in the trailer made me really hopeful that they were going to have to like reconcile their differences for a bit to fight together again because Chi-Tool Ejiofor is just fucking awesome.
Mm-hmm.
But no, this is a different Mordo on a different world who immediately takes the first opportunity he can to betray Strange all the same.
Because fuck it, those two cannot get along no matter what the multiverse is.
Nope. Not in
So
the slightest.
he slips Strange and America some NyQuil in their tea, and they go to sleep.
Yep.
Meanwhile,
I believe then that is when Wanda starts dreamwalking.
yes, Wanda has this moment that's like super pure with her children, but anybody who's ever been around children knows children don't act this way, where they sing a song about wanting ice cream.
Yep.
Which is kind of dumb. I did not like this
She's
scene.
just like, oh, it's so cute. Now, if you'll excuse me, I need to go murder the Avengers.
Spoiler. Yeah. In which case, Wong wakes her up by breaking her book.
Not Wong, the
No, you're right. The
character who is named in the credits, but I don't know their name.
they're not even listed in the cast.
They're not on the Wikipedia cast. I don't think they're on the Google page for the cast. Let me double check. Like, they've got to be somewhere.
Sarah, a master of the mystic arts.
Sure. I will have to take your word for that.
This is all I'm seeing. She's played by Sheila Atim.
Yes.
Yes. That's her name. Sarah, a master of the mystic arts.
She shows up, she stabs a book, and that kills her. So
Yep.
she's gone.
Bye-bye.
Later. But that does stop Wanda from dreamwalking.
Yes. Until
she
Wong...
gets angry.
Yeah. Then Wong is like, okay, I take you to where the original book is.
Yeah.
Which
I always hate that trope where it's just like, I'll never tell you, oh, but what if I torture other people? Fine, I'll tell you right away.
You know what she really should have done? No way she could have done this in the actual movie, but like Spawn the Clown.
Okay, no, so what should have happened is that we have it established already that she's able to control what other people perceive.
Oh, you're right.
So we know that Wong is powerful. So you could easily have like a 5-minute scene of Wanda fucking with Wong, trying to break down his barriers and his defenses to get him to reveal this location.
Yes.
Like going through his past as a younger Wong, say, where he first learned about it.
Yes.
You know, pull some Inception shit into this.
That'd been cool.
They already wrote the book for you with that kind of doing that kind of thing. But no, she just tortures the 3 people who I could not tell you any of their names. And that's enough to make Wong give it up.
Yes. Poor Wong.
Poor Wong.
He's an epitaph or empathetic. You know what I'm talking about.
Empath.
Empath. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. So he gives up the location of some place. I don't remember the name of it. It's like a church where it is the actual Darkhold. The book is a copy.
Yes.
So after that, cut back to 838 Earth
Hmm.
with Strange in America in some columns, some plexi boxes.
Yes.
And we get the reveal that Christine on this world is a scientist studying the multiverse. And they have them boxed up to make sure that they're not gonna go Trail of Tears their world.
Which makes me wonder, is COVID in that universe?
It is now.
Yeah, like what the hell?
Yeah. We also get the reveal. I presume this is like something from the comics, but their Avengers are basically their Avengers are called the Illuminati,
Yes. So the
and we get the worst joke of the whole movie because of that.
What's the worst joke?
The Illumawati?
The Illuminati.
I hated that so fucking much.
It's like those jokes that people use to make fun of like Marvel movies and parody them.
Yeah,
Except it was actually done in a Marvel movie.
it's really bad.
Yeah. So
And it felt out of character for Strange. Strange being the arrogant asshole that he is, I would have expected him to just like not believe them rather than just been like, "What?" Like he doesn't know what the fucking Illuminati are. Of course he knows who the fucking Illuminati are.
in the
He's
comics,
Doctor Goddamn Strange.
in the comics, he is a member of the Illuminati.
There you go.
Yeah. So the whole
So it just feels so wrong to have him be like playing dumb when he should have just been like not believing them.
in the comics, the Illuminati is essentially a superhuman think tank of all the smartest people in the Marvel universe. So there's Tony Stark.
Kind of is ish.
Ish.
It's like a flavor of it.
Yeah. In this universe, they're just the Avengers for their world, which is weird.
Yes. Kind of.
Yeah.
But in this universe also they have Ultron.
A working Ultron,
Yeah, a working Ultron.
which I'm going to tell you a joke I've had in my head since that happened, but we'll go.
Okay.
Well, we have to
So, yeah.
introduce the toys. I mean, characters.
They determine that Doctor Strange doesn't have COVID
Yes.
and he gets to meet the Illuminati.
He's well vaxxed.
Which I kind of liked the scene. It was good fan service.
So, the Illuminati in this world consist of. Have you seen Marvel What If? I mean, Captain Carter. Which is really weird that she's in this movie.
It was cool though. I liked it. It was a bit like, huh? But also like, yeah, I can get with that.
Yes.
That was a good design. It was a good flavor. It was a very effective, like, this is this multiverse's Captain America.
Yes.
It was well done.
So, if you were one of the 5 people to watch through all of What If, congratulations. There's your fan service.
I'll say, hey,
Yep.
I have seen the thumbnail for it on Disney Plus, and I was able to point at it and be like, oh yeah.
If you only need to watch one episode of What If, I do recommend the Doctor Strange episode. Beside the fact, then we have Monica Rambeau as Captain Marvel of this universe. Which,
Maria.
What's that?
But yeah, Maria.
Maria. Yes, you're right. Because
Yeah.
in this, the other way around, where Brie Larson was left behind and Maria went to space. Yeah.
Which is, again, a fun twist.
That is a fun twist. I don't know why I automatically settled on Monica. My bad.
It's whatever. Isn't that the younger one?
Yeah, they're literally mother and child, so it makes sense. Yeah. After that, we had who else? Black Bolt, which
sorry, no, King Blackagar Boltagon.
Black Bolt, because I'm a fucking nerd. Which
Tuning fork head.
I don't think anybody in my theater knew what an Inhuman was, so I was the only person. I will firmly state
I had no idea about that.
And Black Bolt is the king of the Inhumans. The Inhumans are a mutated race of humanity that were out in space that were exposed to something called Terrigen Mist, which basically mutates them, but distinct from mutations that you see in mutants like the X-Men, and gives them superpowers as well as modifies their genetics so it's like an evolution of humanity, like past basic human.
This movie is such a mess. In order to like properly understand it, all within like the Marvel visual video media, you have to see not just WandaVision. You
Yes.
have to see What If,
Yep.
and you have to watch Inhumans.
Yes. Which I heard bad things about the Inhuman show, so good luck with that.
Yep, same.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
It's not a recommendation to do that, but it is presumably what they're saying is the required reading ahead of time.
or you can just think Black Bolt is just some weird dude who can't talk. That's totally cool too.
Yeah, I was good with that. That worked.
Yeah. And then we get the two big ones.
Yes. We get Mr. Fantastic himself, Dr. Reed Richards.
My theater screamed fucking loud when he showed up.
Yeah, same. That was a good reveal. Full credit where it's due. That was good.
And who plays him, Mr. Chiral?
Oh God,
Yeah, I can't pronounce the last name.
I can't remember what his name is. Let me look. Just one sec.
The moral of the story, kids, is I can't pronounce things I don't know off the top of my hand for shit. It's like John something. I know who he is. I know.
Yeah, it's not Krasinski.
Krasinski. There we go.
John Krasinski, notable for Parks and Rec.
Woot woot.
I believe. Is it Parks and Rec or The Office? It's one of them.
The Office.
The Office, yeah.
So he shows up.
I'm in for that. I would very much like to see him continue with that role in future movies.
Yes. So he shows up, and it really annoyed me a little bit because my theater did cheer super loud, but then I realized the movie has like a little bit of a pause second for everybody to cheer before he starts speaking.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which is unnatural, but whatever.
In fairness, they knew it was going to happen, so
Yeah.
And then last,
But not least.
we get Professor Charles Xavier in the flesh, reprised by Patrick Stewart.
Sir Patrick Stewart.
Sir Patrick Stewart.
Hell yeah.
He looked good. I'm sure there's some CG, makeup going on there, but he looked good all considered.
Dude, I was happy to see him. It was kind of nice. Like,
It was.
overall,
Like Patrick Stewart's not young.
no, he's not. I think he's like 90,
81,
81. Never mind.
which is still pretty damn old.
That's much older than some of us get.
Yep.
Patrick Stewart and John Krasinski are basically the highlights of the Illuminati, which is a little unfortunate, but oh well.
So it's here where we get a nice exposition dump of what actually happened with this Earth's Doctor Strange. And it's revealed that their Doctor Strange turned to the Darkhold himself to try and defeat Thanos.
Yes.
And do they say eventually they use the Book of Ashanti to beat Thanos? Is that right?
He wanted to use the Book of Ashanti, I think.
It's like some combination of the two
Yeah.
is talked about, and that results in them winning on
Yes.
Thanos' homeworld before the snap gets to happen. They actually win.
Congratulations.
GG no re.
No re.
But because of his crimes for using the Darkhold, they kill him in
No.
the fight.
Two things. He used dream walking too much with the Darkhold,
Sorry, yes.
and then it caused what's known
That's
as an
what-
incursion.
Yes.
Incursions are when one universe and another universe basically crash into each other and they like kill everybody inside.
Yep, destroying one or both of them.
Yes. And basically for killing two universes, the Illuminati executed their Stephen Strange.
Yep, to stop him from doing it again.
Yes.
Because they no longer trusted him. And they believe that 616 Strange is dangerous in the same way, which is why they have little sands of Ashanti, is that what that is?
Yeah.
Handcuffs on him so he can't use his magic.
Darn.
Yeah.
If only there was like another person who was like dream walking that they could also put their attention to.
Yep. So, and I believe that is that when we get Wanda is there and
Wanda
just
is there.
completely kicking ass.
Wanda shows up, and it is one of the bloodiest scenes in all of
It
Marvel.
is. I love the idea though, where she just like shows up, sees Ultron, and is just like, "Oh yeah, I've done this before."
Yeah. So I want to point out that Reed Richards making a functioning Ultron where Tony Stark could not is kind of hilarious.
Yeah.
So we get the Illuminati versus Wanda Maximoff, and it is. What would you rate the gore of this scene?
It was not as bad. From what I heard people talking about, I expected it to be worse. But like it's still PG-13.
Yeah.
So there's a limit to it. It's certainly a lot of implied violence, but there's not a lot that's actually shown.
So first thing she does is sees Black Bolt. Black Bolt's whole
Yeah, the
thing,
first thing that she does is she gets a new power.
she rewrites reality.
Yeah.
She takes his mouth away, which,
Which is like objectively fucking cool.
yeah,
It's clever and it's a cool way of like being just like, nope.
you see,
And it causes him to blow his own head up.
yes. Because Black Bolt's, for everybody who's not aware, Black Bolt, his one and only power is he's got a super voice.
Yes.
Yes.
And that's how they destroyed their Strange, is he whispered at him.
Yes. Which is kind of funny. Dude, imagine Black Bolt just yelling out, "Let's go!" So yes, he has no mouth and he must scream, and he screams, and it blows his head up.
Wanda hits him with the "no you,"
No, you.
which is like I was saying, it's really cool. It's a clever way showing Wanda's like mental capabilities and creativity in problem solving for something like that. But it comes out of nowhere with this being something that she can do.
Yes.
Like if she can do that, why doesn't she just do that all the time? Why doesn't she just take away Doctor Strange's hands?
Good.
Why doesn't she just take everyone's eyes?
Good point.
It is out of place and makes any future engagement seem like she's pulling punches, It's weird.
She owes Doctor Strange for giving her that free pass in Westview.
Yeah. I guess.
So, after that, she turns Reed Richards into spaghetti.
Yeah, that was pretty like that's where we get like the oh yeah, no, she's just evil now.
Yeah. Which,
Because Reed is like, I have my wife and 2 kids. And she's like, are they alive? It's like, well, yeah. Oh, good. Then they'll still have a mother take care of them.
oh.
She's like, God damn.
Yeah, that was cold.
Yeah.
So, one thing I wanted to point out with John Krasinski, every time he stretches as Mr. Fantastic, they only get the suit to stretch. Nothing about like the face ever gets stretched out, which is kind of interesting to me if that's how they plan on doing it for, moving forward.
I'm sure it was intentional.
Yeah. Because he stretches only like 3 times in this movie.
Yeah, he's not there for a long time.
No, like less than 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Just enough for you to get your own Dr. Reed Richards figurine at a Walmart near you.
Yep.
Yeah.
So then we get sort of a 2v1
Yes.
with Captain Carter and Captain Marvel Maria Rambo,
Mm-hmm.
where it ends up with Captain Carter getting cut in fucking half with her own shield, which
Fuck.
I was really hoping that they would show a bit more of that.
I wanted more of that.
It's just like, it's just implied. They don't show anything.
Yeah. They like put the camera right above the waistline where the cut is. And then you
Yep.
just see her just kind of like slide to the left a little.
So I will say, just as like a quick piece of my perspective, for me, give me 1 sec, I'll be right back.
Okay. I will just nerd out about clearly whoever wrote the killing Black Bolt scene, which I'm assuming is the film's writer, reads as many Marvel comics as I do, because I think everybody and their mother who reads too many Inhuman books, too many old school Marvel books, imagines
I can't find it now.
killing Black Bolt. My apologies.
But no, all good. Overlord.
Yep.
is like my bar for what I want for graphic violence in an action movie,
Okay.
where it is a horror movie set in World War II,
Mm.
where you have a group of U.S. Combat guys parachuting in that have to infiltrate this Nazi camp that they think is just like a radio tower, but turns out that they're doing experimentation there.
Mm-hmm.
And it has not a lot of horror, but when it does happen, it is incredibly explicit for very brief moments, to the point where it's like it flashes up there and it sticks with you.
Mm.
I was really hoping for something like that. For one or two instances of like, this is incredibly graphic, but it's only there for a split second, so it makes you think about it more than show it to you.
Mm.
And we never got that.
This is what I'll say right here. This is obviously a horror movie, right?
I have a hard time saying the same. I think they, to an audience, as family movies go, yes.
Yes.
But because it never quite jumped over that hurdle that I have for myself, it just didn't clear the bar.
So, yes, this is what I'm about to say. This is a horror movie that is trying really hard to have its cake and eat it too, with being a family movie at the same time.
Yep.
This is very hard to recommend to anybody who likes horror, but it is, in fact, the first superhero horror movie that throws its punches. It could easily be so much better if they just kicked it up a little bit more.
Yep.
Which
I'll say as an example of like pulling punches, they do a lot of this really good imagery of Wanda seemingly like having like this big streak of blood up her face.
yes.
It's not blood, it's oil from the Ultron robots. And it's like, that's like, to me, is very exemplary of what they keep doing. It's
Yes.
just like, oh, we can't have Wanda with blood on her face. It's oil from the robots. She didn't brutally murder someone just off screen.
They do jump scares because after she kills Maria Rambo,
Oh, yeah.
there's a nice scene with Professor X where he invades her mind, and
Yep.
this is one of my favorite scenes in the movie. This is one of the things.
It was very good.
Yes, this is one of those things with the imagery that holds me back from giving this like a 6.
Yep.
It's just pure white, empty. There's just a small little cave almost where Xavier.
It's the pile of rubble that Wanda was trapped under with her brother.
Exactly. I was about to kind of build up to that, but you
Okay,
need to watch WandaVision to know that's the pile of rubble.
Yep.
But I love that image.
It is very strong.
Yes. Patrick Stewart just walks up to it and he's like, knock, knock, is Wanda home? And then Wanda grabs his leg and just begs her to like, let me out. I need to get out.
The implication being that Wanda is the Wanda that our Wanda took over.
Yes.
And she is, in her mind, now trapped under the rubble that has trapped her whole life.
Yes. Which is really neat. Too bad that it's not kind of isolated to the movie itself. You need to watch WandaVision to fully get the context of that.
And knowing the full context of it, it kind of adds to how fucked up the stuff that Wanda is doing, knowing that she is subjecting basically herself to that same torture that she has endured for her whole life.
Yes.
Like, this is a Wanda that overcame that and made her own life for herself and is now being forced to relive that for however long Wanda is controlling her body.
Yes. Which is absolutely fucked up.
It is. It really is.
And then they just kill Patrick Stewart.
Yeah, Wanda snaps his neck.
Yep. And like that.
But it does give America enough time to figure out her powers to break out of her plexi bowl and escape with Christine.
Yes. And then we're reminded after like 20 minutes, this is a Doctor Strange movie when we see Doctor Strange again.
Yes.
Where he has a pretty good fight.
Sorry,
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Go ahead.
He has a pretty good fight with that universe's Mordo. Where they
Is it though?
I liked it. It was cool practically.
It wasn't bad.
Yeah.
But this is Mordo with all of his powers and Strange with none.
I take it back.
Mordo should be better than that.
Mordo should
even
have
in this version.
Popped him in the mirror dimension and said, I'll be back for you.
Seriously.
You're right. Oh my God. Why didn't I think of that?
It's like it works for servicing the plot, and
Yeah.
it does a good job of exemplifying how this Mordo is very similar to the Mordo we already know.
Mhm.
Not a changed man. Um, but yeah, it doesn't really hold up to any scrutiny.
Anyway, Strange gets the cuffs off, and it's the
Yep,
chase scene
kicks his
again.
ass.
Yeah. Well, yeah, kicks Mordo's ass, and it's the chase scene
Yep.
again.
I do love the idea because he doesn't even really kick Mordo's ass. He just like he puts one of the shackles on Mordo and pushes him into a slight hole. It's not even especially. It's like a 12-foot hole. That's it.
Yes.
And they show Doctor Strange like jumping from wall to wall to climb up it, but I guess Mordo just can't do that
Damn, I missed
for
that day.
whatever reason. Yeah, he missed that class.
Yeah.
It services the plot,
Yes.
and it doesn't stick around long enough that you really think about it during the movie.
So then we begin the next part of the chase sequence, which I like this part because it's genuinely terrifying.
I liked it right up until the end of it.
Yes, it's a cool concept. They're just in tunnels trying to get to the
Yep.
book.
Yep.
Because the book is being held at that facility.
Mm-hmm.
And the basic
Kind
idea,
of.
yes, kind of. The portal to the book is being hosted.
Yes.
Yeah.
The literal door.
And all they have to do is just make it to point A from point B. But
Mhm.
oh yeah, Wanda's chasing them the whole time.
Yes. And they keep closing all of these blast doors behind them as they go to try and slow Wanda down, and it just doesn't.
Yeah.
She just tears through them with her sorcery, her witchcraft, and keeps pursuing them.
Yes.
Until we
Yes.
get to the third part that I don't like.
Oh, where they have to figure
Where-
out the lock?
No!
Oh.
Where they close the last blast door.
Oh yeah.
And it seems like it's exactly the same as every other blast door, except Wanda doesn't tear through it. Oh, what's happening? So naturally, now that they have this moment to put some space between them and Wanda, they fucking stand there. And I swear to God, I started counting. They did like 12 shot reverse shots of Christine to Doctor Strange to America to the falling raindrops to Christine to Doctor Strange to America to the rain, and they do it like 4 goddamn cycles to set up a jump scare of Wanda teleports through the door. I guess they're not super clear about that, even though she just like cuts through them like butter the first 5 times. This door's different, so she has to teleport through now
Yes.
for whatever reason. And then Doctor Strange brings the fucking river down on her, and that slows her down for real.
Should have done that in the first place.
Yeah. But between this door that is seemingly the same as every other fucking door now stops her for some reason, and the dumbest shot reverse shot that goes on for way too long, I just was like, what are you doing? This is the one part where that's not writing. That is Sam Raimi, my guy. The fuck are you doing right now?
Oh, that's funny. That's so Sam Raimi too.
Yeah.
He's
It
trying to
was
build
so
up
excessive.
suspense. Yeah.
I know, but like I feel like having the door not break in the first place is enough.
Yeah.
Like having it go from like having the big music of the chase and the doors being ripped down and just having it completely cut out is enough suspense to be like, what's wrong here? Something is wrong. But no, we get 12 shot reverse shots in a row.
Yes.
So yes, then they get to the door to the Book of Ashanti,
And
which is locked.
this is what I hate because it directly contradicts itself immediately after. They're just like,
Does it?
only Strange knew how to open up this door. And then
Yeah.
Christine says that.
Immediately figures it out.
She immediately figures it out.
Well, and doesn't she have that Doctor Strange's watch too?
No, I believe Steven actually
is-
had the watch.
Okay, I was super unclear about that. The way that they had that scene framed, it looked like Christine was handing that watch to him.
I think she pulls it away from
Or
his
maybe
pocket and then gives it to
you're
him.
right. It was probably like how they took the cape away.
Yeah,
They probably took the watch away too, and
yeah,
anything else that could have been a weapon for analysis.
you're right.
It was probably something like that. They just didn't really show it super clearly, and it was just like, wait, what?
So here's a big thing
And
I want
then
to
and
touch
oh yeah,
on.
go ahead. Then I'll have my own.
Yeah, what the fuck is this watch? Because like this
Yeah.
watch is obviously from the first movie. We establish it, but it
Yep.
does not get enough attention in this movie at all. Like it's like
So they do show it in the flashback memory scene.
they do show it. I do agree, but
Yeah.
they need to
They
put more
like
emphasis.
explicitly show Christine gave this watch to Strange.
It's a representation of his love for her.
Yep.
Yep. This is where you kind of get that point in the movie. Then there's like one other scene where it shows up and then it completes the metaphor. But I feel like there needs to be
Yes.
more metaphor. There's more strength on this watch.
Yes.
That's just me.
Okay, so my problem,
Yes.
they open the door. The watch opens the lock. They go through the door. Why don't they close the door?
Because Wanda's powers are super effective on doors, dude. We established this.
It's just like I see them go through it, and it's like, okay, they are there now. Close the door. And then they start going to the book. Close the door. They keep going. What are you doing? Close the goddamn door. You know she's right behind you. You just said that won't slow her down.
You could take the watch. They could have locked the door with the watch.
Yes.
Yes.
That's all they had to do, and they win. Hands down, movie is over. But no, they leave the door open, and of course, she doesn't get slowed down for long, and she's right behind them.
And it's pretty much, how do we describe it? It's like, I don't know. It's just the same area from the beginning of the movie. They go.
Yes, it is the same spot they showed with where the book was that they were trying to get to before.
Yes. Strange grabs the book, and you're kind of getting ready for the big final climactic battle.
Yep.
And Wanda shreds the book.
Yep. It seemed not like the whole book. It was like just the page that Strange needed to win. You know?
Wanda makes like a Texas
spell-
senator. I'm sorry. Wanda makes like a Texas senator and just breaks the book.
Yes.
My apologies to all Texas senators. I do not apologize.
So then Wanda grabs America, is able to harness her powers, sends Christine and the Doctor to another universe, and heads back to her universe with America.
Yes. But here's the thing about this universe. It's incursioned. Which
Yes.
it's cool.
Which is cool.
Yeah.
It's very cool. It's a
it's-
fun idea.
It sets up the stakes of what they were trying to prevent.
Yep.
Yes. And
we get to my fourth problem here, though.
okay.
We know now that Wanda has America.
Yes.
No one can stop her at this point.
Yes.
How is it that this process that seems like it should take seconds from what we've seen before apparently doesn't happen for like half an hour at that point?
Dramatic tension.
Like, it should just be like, yep, we lost.
Yeah.
And it just keeps going.
Yes.
I don't know. I thought that was weird. It's like continuing with the, oh, we need to have this scene and this scene and this scene, so Wanda's gonna twiddle her thumbs for a bit.
Mm-hmm. Just don't think about it.
I believe at this point we get the reveal that Wong is still alive.
Yes.
Back when Wong first shows Wanda where this temple is, she kicks him off of it, and he tries to use his stabby lasso thing to not fall to his death, and is very clearly shown to miss and continue to fall. So now we get the reveal that he didn't fall. He fell down to a ledge below and is not dead yet.
Oh, we
starts
forgot
climbing
about
back up.
we forgot about Wanda's scary monster friends now. She has scary monster friends. That's it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's it.
Yeah. They don't do anything.
Are they supposed to like be something?
So here's what pisses me off about this movie, right? They mention
Hmm.
Chthon. Now, Chthon doesn't mean much to like the average MCU viewer, but
No.
for me who's read some comics, Chthon is a big scary monster man who's basically Marvel Cthulhu. And
Hmm.
what I was hoping for was like he be the real final boss. Like,
Yep.
yeah, but we do
It really
not.
felt like it felt that that kind of thing was missing.
Yeah.
And I bet that that was probably what they had originally until they realized, oh, we just made the first Doctor Strange again. And they had to change it to be not exactly the same.
Fair enough. So those monsters are
But it
supposed.
does feel off.
Yeah. The cave is supposed to be like a temple of Chthon, and then Scarlet Witch is supposed to be just like a product of Chthon. But
Yep.
yeah, I don't know. It just felt like they stopped with the world building. And I thought they were going to lead up to him when they mentioned his name, and I'm sad.
Well, it's awkward because they establish in WandaVision that Wanda got her powers from the Mind Stone.
Yeah.
That is the source of the powers she has currently.
Mm-hmm.
A combination of the Mind Stone um, being tested on her following the first Avengers movie.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but it seems like they also want this other like Scarlet Witch stuff to happen, and it feels internally conflicting.
A little, yes.
Because one is like this great cosmic historical, we've known about it for eons event, and the other one's just like, oh yeah, dude's a Nazi, he experimented on people.
Thanks, Nazis.
Thanks, Nazis. You
Yeah.
gave us phase 4. Um, but anyways, Strange and Christine in the incursioned world.
Yes.
I think it leads up to I want to rewatch it just for that scene that comes up in that one.
Everything in the incursion world is my favorite part of the movie.
I kind of don't want there's a fight scene in the incursion world.
Yeah.
I don't want to talk about it because it's really cool.
It's the best fighting scene in all of Marvel.
It is.
So,
I'll talk with you more about it later because I
yeah.
want to pick your brain on it because I think you are more knowledgeable about it than I am.
Dude, I know I'm more knowledgeable about it and I know what you're talking about and I will tell you
Yep.
what it means.
Okay.
Yes.
Because I had like some ideas of like, is that what that is? But I just don't know for sure.
No.
But it is very fucking cool.
Okay.
Um,
So they go into the incursion world and they meet another Doctor Strange. This one
Yes.
is just batshit loco, has the
Yep.
Darkhold. This is absolutely the kind of worst Doctor Strange.
He's been using it to kill other Doctor Stranges to basically stop them from incursioning other worlds,
Yes. And
which
he's
is
after
relatable.
yeah, he's after their Christines as well.
Yes.
Yes.
So ends up with our doctor getting that doctor's Darkhold
Mm-hmm.
and using it to dreamwalk back to Earth in the body of the dead doctor from the opening scene.
That was the best plot twist.
It was pretty good.
Yeah. And I like zombie Demon Strange.
Mm-hmm.
I like that he's this. Sorry.
It makes me question, how does the flow of time work in this movie? Because he looks like he's been in there for like a week.
You're right.
But it feels like this movie's like, even in universe time, like the movie's only 2 hours long, but it feels like the whole events of it only happen over like 5 or 6 hours at
Yes.
most. But he's rotted to hell, which is visually very effective, but it just feels weird,
Dude, it's just how their universe decomposes.
I guess.
There you go. There's your explanation. I love that this is Zombie Strange.
Waves hands, multiverse.
Zombie Strange is this really cool prosthetic they put on Benedict Cumberbatch mixed with CGI, and it's really cool. And the one thing I'm really pissed about is that he's in the trailers, and I wish we would never have known he was coming.
Yep.
Yeah. And
It is weird because in the trailer they do the thing where they kind of obfuscate some of the major plot points by hiding it and tweaking it a little bit.
mhm,
I wish they could have made opening scene Doctor Strange a bit more distinctive and had him like CGI imposed into the incursion world Doctor Strange,
Mm,
so that in the trailers we see this clearly wrong Doctor Strange, and then the movie starts with him dying,
yeah.
only for them to later have it revealed that there's actually another one. Something like that to
Yeah. Um.
keep it a bit more hidden.
Mhm. So it's absolutely the last fights, the last two fights of this movie are my favorite parts about it. Some of the imagery in the evil Doctor Strange's like Sanctum Sanctorum is pretty cool. Especially that
Yep,
one fight
yep.
we will not talk about because you need to go to this movie just to see that one fight.
It's very good.
Yes. Like, even when this is on Disney Plus, just fucking pull it up and then just watch that
Yep,
one fight scene. You're good.
yep,
Yes.
yep.
So this whole last, I'm going to call it the third act, when they go from Incursion World to fighting evil Doctor Strange to Wanda. That's the third act to me. And that's like the best part of the movie.
One of the consequences of Doctor Strange using the Darkhold to take over the body of a deceased version of himself is that the spirits of the damned that I guess reside in the Darkhold, kind of,
Yeah.
details don't really matter, start to antagonize him and stop him from doing it because they're even them are just like, hey, dude, kind of fucked up.
Dude, we're evil, but this is just straight up bad.
And I love that we get them, they start to appear in the world, the incursion world where Doctor Strange's body is, where he's casting the spell and Christine is watching over him.
Mm-hmm.
They start to appear there. And I love that Christine, in her great problem solving, is just like, okay, cool, I'm gonna make a gun. And she just makes this gun out of some magic artifacts and shoots the spirits of the damned to protect Doctor Strange. And it's just like, hell yeah, you go.
Proud of you.
He did it.
Yep. Best Christine.
Hmm. So that gives the Doc enough time to get to Wanda at the Darkhold, the actual Darkhold, and confront her.
Yes.
And somehow she hasn't taken America's powers yet. But don't worry about it. Doesn't matter. So we get another fight scene.
Yes.
Wong shows up. We get Wong and Doctor and America eventually now figures out how to use her powers. And they win.
No, you got to tell how they win.
So America opens up the portal to the universe where Wanda was possessing the other Wanda, where some two of her children are,
Mm-hmm.
and basically uses her own children against her to be just like, yeah, look how fucked up you've gotten.
Yes. And they're basically
And
like,
then,
no more mom.
yep,
Yeah.
you're not our mom, you're a monster, or some shit like that.
Mm-hmm. Which is a
And then
creative way of
Wanda's,
doing it.
it is.
Yeah.
It's a good way of showing how America's powers can actually be used practically,
Mm-hmm.
besides just punching people really hard.
Yes. And then they go back to Kumarataj after Wanda basically commits suicide. And
Yeah, it was just like, okay, I'm sad now. Bye.
yeah, I must go now. My planet needs me.
Drops a building on my own head.
Yeah.
Oh, it does make me wonder. They say that that destroys all of the Darkholds, but
I doubt it.
I don't know how. It's like they say it. They very clearly say it, but that seems too easy. Like, wasn't the whole point that they had to go to this place because they no longer had the copy and the copy was destroyed? So aren't there just more copies of it?
More
I
than
don't know.
likely.
It seems a bit like it feels hand wavy.
Yeah.
But whatever. Back to Camertage.
Yeah. They all basically rebuild, live happily forever after until
Yep.
Doctor Strange goes back to New York and now he has a third eye.
Yep.
Yep.
And America is training at Kamertage
Oh
as
yes,
well.
she's decided I like this universe, even though you pay
Yep.
for food, which is fucked up.
Yep. Yep. Conveniently, she found the one place you don't have to pay for food.
Yeah, Kamaratage. Congrats.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, also Strange bows to Wong, which
Yes, which is character development.
some character development. Yes.
Yeah. He's not a complete asshole anymore.
Congrats, Strange. You literally saw the worst parts of yourself throughout the whole multiverse and decided to make yourself a little bit better.
Yep.
Yes.
So then we go to New York, and Strange fixes the watch.
Yes.
That's his arc completed. He has fixed, metaphorically, his relationship with Christine, and he can be happy finally.
Mm-hmm.
And in doing so, opens his third eye.
It's really a story of self-acceptance, my dude.
What is the point of that? I'm curious. They kind of implied with the other Doctor Strange, because the other Doctor Strange had his third eye, and that was kind of like a big dramatic, like, ew kind of thing.
Yes.
That was kind of like almost implied as like, this is what the Darkhold will do to you. Is that meant to be the same, or is it actually supposed to be like Strange has reached enlightenment kind of thing?
I think it's both really.
Okay.
Strange has
Okay.
kind of like reached an enlightenment, but it's also like his punishment for using the Darkhold.
Right.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
But he's cool with it
It
because
looked very painful.
Yes, it does. But he's cool with it because at the very end, he's off to go on to Doctor Strange 3 with Mystery Woman, which I know who Mystery Woman is, but no one in my theater knew because all I heard was, "Who is that? Who is
I
that?"
had no idea who that is.
That
Some chick in purple spandex.
with white hair.
Sure.
Her name is Clea.
Okay.
She is kind of his significant other in the comics.
Okay.
How do I? There's not really much I know on Clea other than she once almost fucked Benjamin Franklin.
I'm looking at the Marvel wiki right now, but that's funny.
Yeah. Basically, Benjamin Franklin was trying to cuck Doctor Strange.
Clea was born to Prince Orini and the Faltine fugitive Umar. Looks like sister of Dormammu. So she's like Dormammu's niece.
Yes.
Clea's birth was very traumatic to Umar, and the experience scarred her even more when she learned she had lost the ability to revert to her Faltinian form. Abandoned Clea with Orini and became violent, picking a conflict with her brother in her weakened state. However, she was defeated by Dormammu and banished from the realm. Clea grew up unaware who her mother was and worshipping Dormammu, who her father served loyally.
And if you notice in the whole "I'm taking you on another adventure" sequence, she takes him to the dark dimension where Dormammu is supposed to be. Yes. So, now you all know. Welcome to the Schmoes Show. You're welcome. Oh yeah, and then there's another one where Bruce Campbell stops punching himself in the face. Congratulations.
Yes, which was amusing, but not that amusing.
Would have been better if they just had Wong being chased by clowns.
Agreed.
Yes. So, overall, it's pretty okay. It's not a bad movie, but it needs time in the oven.
Yeah, it's fine.
It's fine.
I am looking forward to the discourse we'll get over it over the next 10 years, because there's going to be a ton of video essays, I am sure.
Yeah, I can't wait for the initial like YouTuber reviews because I'm sure we're not unique in our opinions, but it'll be kind of interesting to hear some other ways of looking at it.
Mm.
It's going to be interesting to see how this does contextualized with other films in the Marvel Cinematic Universe in the future.
Yeah, curious. I'll look up the Rotten Tomatoes movie list. Just with like the initial scores and where does it rank up?
Okay.
Just curious. Tomato meter. Can I not do it in the... Okay, fine. So based on initial reviews, it is currently between Avengers Age of Ultron and Iron Man 2.
Interesting.
I think that,
It's
to
fair.
me,
Yeah.
that feels about right.
I would say I got a lot of Age of Ultron comparisons with this movie.
Yeah. Oh wow. So here's some reference talking about Inhumans. It is the lowest rated Marvel franchise on their list.
Good.
11%.
So there was this thing when Fox had the rights to X-Men where they really tried to make Inhumans a thing to replace the X-Men, and it just doesn't work.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm very upset about that.
Eternals is the lowest movie on the list, though, which is kind of surprising, I feel like.
Eh.
I don't think it was worse than Thor Dark World.
I don't think it was worse than Thor Dark World as well.
Yeah. And it's like rated substantially lower. Yeah. I don't know.
So overall, I think it's finally my time to put in my opinions about Phase 4.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think this has been a good phase.
No,
It's
I
had
agree.
some good movies, but it's not the same quality of standard.
Yep.
And
I think it's going to pick up here, though.
You think so?
Yep.
Why?
Thor Love and Thunder.
Oh.
I think Thor Love and Thunder is going to carry it hard. I think there's going to be a lot of people that are going to hate it because it's going to be more of Ragnarok.
Mm-hmm.
And people are weird like that. But I had a trailer for it at my showing.
Mm-hmm.
And it looks like what I would want out of more Thor.
More Thor?
Yep. More of the Thor we have right now.
Yeah.
They positioned it in the trailer as like Thor has decided he no longer wants to be a superhero. He just wants to go vibe someplace. And I am completely here for that. Hell yeah, Thor. Go live your best life.
Yeah. He's just
I'm sure it's going to go well.
You know who the fucking villain of that movie is?
Who?
The God Butcher.
Oh, nice.
That's the literal title of the villain.
We also, in that trailer, got... I kind of wish that they didn't reveal it this early, but I know it's just to drum up hype. We got the reveal of Natalie Portman as the new Thor, wielding Mjolnir.
Yes. Broken Mjolnir.
Yeah, reforged.
That's what the God Butcher looks like, so that's how fucking hard we're going.
That's pretty fucking hard.
Yeah.
I'll say also really like Tessa Thompson, Valkyrie.
Yes.
In like a suit and tie, just like, well, guess I'm president now. I love that representation of like, we're on New Asgard. We gotta present ourselves well.
Mm-hmm.
It's good. I like it a lot. We do have Christian Bale confirmed as the God Butcher.
Yes.
That's interesting.
It's going to be very cool, I think.
Yeah.
So, yeah, guess we just have to wait.
Excuse me. Yeah, I'm interested in it. If anything can sort of turn this around, I think it'll be this.
I don't think you can turn it around. Like, overall quality of the films and the TV shows?
For sure. Like, overall story isn't going to be able to change too much, but I mean more public sentiment.
Okay, public sentiment, maybe, yes. Ragnarok was good.
Ragnarok was very well received, and I know people do like the I changed the order again. Rotten Tomatoes, why are you so awful? I'm not as high on No Way Home as the other people are. It was good, but it's not like 98% audience score good, you know.
No Way Home is a solid 8 in my book.
For sure. Like, yeah. It is very good and rewatchable. It's a good Marvel movie.
Yes.
But it's been kind of like, given that it is the high point, is telling of where the current Phase 4 stuff is.
I'm going to rank my Phase 4 movies, the ones I've seen at least.
Sure. Let me get up a list here so I can have them all.
No Way Home, Shang-Chi,
yep,
Doctor Strange,
yep,
Eternals, and is that it? No, Black Widow as well.
Yeah, Black Widow, Shang-Chi, Eternals, Spider-Man No Way Home, Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness.
Okay, I feel like there's been more, but I guess the TV shows are also there as well.
Yeah, there's been a huge push on the TV shows. We've had WandaVision, Falcon, Loki, What If, Hawkeye, and now Moon Knight.
Yes.
And we're also scheduled for 2022 alone to have Miss Marvel, She-Hulk, and I Am Groot.
Okay.
It's lots.
Yeah.
Um,
I
yeah, I feel like mine's pretty similar. I feel like it's a bit of a toss-up between Shang-Chi and Spider-Man for me.
okay.
They both hit right at around that same like 8.5 mark.
Mm.
Very good, very rewatchable, fun to watch. Not especially groundbreaking though,
Hmm.
but very good. Then probably Doctor Strange after that. Then Eternals, then Black Widow. How the hell is Black Widow above Eternals? Wait a minute. Where's Black Widow in this list? Who the fuck gave this an 8 out of 10? This is garbage. Have you seen Black Widow?
No, and I don't pretend on seeing it. It doesn't look important at
No.
all.
It is. Okay, I'm gonna actually look this up because this might be uh this might make my point for me. Talking about how Doctor Strange has already made its money back.
Hmm.
Black Widow, on the other hand, it had to go internationally to do it. Domestically, it did not.
Oof.
In all of Black Widow's running in theaters, which admittedly was, hit by COVID a bit, but most theaters were open at that point to some capacity. It didn't crack 400 million. And domestically, it didn't make back its budget.
So here's my thing. I don't know if we can really chalk up much of this to like COVID being the
Yeah,
contributor to Marvel's up and down quality for all this.
I agree. I think we're past that point.
Yeah. I feel like this is the last movie where it can be an excuse because this legitimately got delayed so many times because of COVID.
Yeah, but to be fair, it only got delayed. 4 months?
Yeah.
Compared to Black Widow, that was more like a year and a half.
Yeah.
But for me, Black Widow, of all of the Phase 4 movies, Black Widow is the only one that I would say is out and out bad.
Really.
Eternals is like forgettable,
Yeah.
and you don't need to see it, but it's not bad. It does some things that justify its existing. Black Widow does not need to exist. It adds nothing, and everything that it does add, we get again just by watching Hawkeye.
Mm.
It's like minutes of its runtime are actually worth the shit. So that's where I am. I would probably put Shang-Chi. I could go either way on Shang-Chi and No Way Home, depending on the day of the week. They're easily, though, numbers 1 and 2. And then Doctor Strange, then Eternals, then Black Widow.
Doctor Strange is very firmly in the middle of quality for like Marvel movies in
Yep.
general.
Yep. I'll be very curious to see if they do actually put out a director's cut.
I feel like this is the one movie in all the MCU that deserves a director's cut.
Mm-hmm. I don't disagree. Okay. Any closing thoughts?
Any closing thoughts? I heard Benedict Cumberbatch is planning on going on an acting break after this movie, so
I don't blame him. He's got to be like rolling in it right now. He's deserved it.
yeah, no, he's like been in like all the major Marvel movies lately. So he was in between this movie and his last Doctor Strange movie, we had Thor Ragnarok,
Mm-hmm.
Avengers Infinity War and Endgame,
Yep.
No Way Home, and now this. So he's been in a Marvel movie like every year between his last movies.
Yep. Definitely deserves a break.
Yeah.
Okay. In terms, let me see. I believe there is like one movie coming out this weekend. Rip it. Um, it is a World War II like historical fiction kind of piece talking about Operation Mincemeat, which was um, the what the Allies did to trick Hitler into thinking they were attacking a different beach when they were actually attacking Normandy.
Oh, so it's Oscar bait.
I don't know. I mean, it's got Colin Firth in it, so probably, but it is an area of World War II history that hasn't really been explored much, and given that it's much more uh, conceptual, there's a lot of room to dramatize it to make it interesting. There's
So
much less like action and combat and more plotting and planning.
I feel like anytime I see a movie that's World War II oriented, I kind of automatically go to my Oscar bait reflexes,
Mm,
which
yep,
kind of mean, but it's how it is.
yep. Who did it? I saw a video. Pull up my subs list here by one of the YouTubers I follow that had a video that went through Operation Mincemeat. That if you don't want to go to theaters and pay money to watch, you can watch it instead. I think this will pull it up. I believe. Was it Let Me Know? I think it is. Another good channel, but not the right one. I'm not sure who it was that did it. Some channel I watched. I'll have to see if I can find it. That did a really good breakdown of Operation Mincemeat, along with showing a mix of original documentation and as well as like animations that they made for it to show what was going on.
Mm.
But yeah, it's legitimately an interesting piece of espionage because it's like actual espionage. The TLDR is that they got a body of a recently deceased person and put fake orders on the body and then dropped it in the Mediterranean on like a fake like submarine accident so that the Germans patrolling the Mediterranean and the Italians would find the body and deliver the orders to Hitler to give them the wrong orders that the Allies were actually giving out. So it's
That
like
that's some
legitimately pretty contrived, but it worked.
that's some 4D chess bullshit.
Yeah, they pulled it off.
Yeah, I'm jealous. What else do we have in the news?
Okay. The UK is having local elections this week,
Woot!
which normally wouldn't be of much news, except Boris Johnson has. I don't want to say it's not exclusively Boris Johnson. He's just the figurehead of it, but their Conservative party took major losses
Mm.
all across the country. Notably, though, the is it Sinn Féin is the nationalist party in Northern Ireland, and for the first time, they have secured the most seats in an assembly election for their region.
Oh, those Irish.
So it looks like, like we've been having with Wales and Scotland and Northern Ireland to an extent as well. This could be the start of a major push to get, if not Northern Irish independence, a secession of Northern Ireland from the UK so that they can join the rest of Ireland into a unified country again.
I mean, I'm for it.
Mm-hmm. See if I can, because I saw some of the early results. Excuse me, that were in a nice graphic, but I'm not seeing it now because it was pretty stark with how the results had shifted.
Hmm.
Yeah, so the Conservative Party lost 338 seats.
Ooh.
Most of those going to the Lib Dem and Green parties,
Hmm.
with small gains for Labor as well. But Conservative Party losing so much of its just that great of numbers with the way that the UK's government works, they have to form coalition governments in order to elect prime ministers and other higher political parties, I believe. I'm pretty sure that's like very broadly how that works. Um, so even though there's not like a major shift of the tides like you would have to see here in the US, having seats move from one area to the next, one party to the next, still does precipitate more of a real shift in the policymaking.
Hmm. You see, I'm American, and the fact that you mentioned more than two parties confuses me.
Yeah.
Which side are the Republicans on? I want their side to win.
Yep. That seems to be where we're at still.
Who is Vladimir Putin funding? I think that's a good idea.
He seemed like a strong man, and I appreciate that.
You know, I think we need more strong leaders in the world. And I think Vladimir Putin and his overreaching of overseas democracies that do not belong to him might just be that kind of overly strong personality we need in politics nowadays.
Careful now, you're one sleepy Biden away from getting a flag pop up on our video when it uploads.
Oh, God. Oh, please, no. Don't you dare.
Quick, change tactics. Brazilian elections. Oh no.
Yo. What about them Brazilian elections,
Okay.
my dude?
So this is a quick thing. I think it's interesting. John Oliver has some videos more on this with Last Week Tonight on their YouTube channel talking about the last Brazilian election cycle, like 4 years ago, 6 years ago, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
It would have been 6 years ago, I think. Notably, at the time, 2018, I guess 4 years ago, they were going through a massive bribery and corruption scandal that became known as the investigation Operation Car Wash that resulted in a huge number of Brazilian government officials being arrested for bribes and just corruption in general and sentenced to long jail sentences. One of those was the former Brazilian president, Luiz Inácio Lula da Silva, or like colloquially just known as Lula, who was arrested, convicted, sentenced to 12 years in jail, and banned from the presidential race in 2018 as a result. Last year, though, a Supreme Court judge annulled the corruption convictions, ruling that a biased judge who looked at Lula's case had compromised his right to a fair trial. So basically, the equivalent of a mistrial because the judge involved was also biased. Notably, though, at the time of the election in 2018, his arrest and not being allowed to run paved the way for Bolsonaro, the current president of Brazil, to run almost unopposed. There was some other candidates who came in and tried to fill Lula's shoes, but this would be like if before the American election, Biden was arrested for bribery.
Mm.
You know, even if you're able to find a suitable replacement to run in his stead, it tarnishes the reputation of the party as a whole.
Mm-hmm.
That said, even though Lula was imprisoned at the time and couldn't run, they ran polls anyways before and after the election that consistently showed if his name could go on the ballot, even if he was in prison, he would handily have won.
That really makes me upset.
Yeah. Now he has announced his return to politics and will be campaigning for their election in this coming October. So this is a big name in Brazilian politics, and Brazilian politics are quick becoming politics of the world because of their population and trade that they do because of their population. Very large country.
Mm-hmm.
And Lula seems to be the most likely left-wing candidate to take on Bolsonaro's far right.
So I'm just going to take special notes of this election because it might be relevant to what we see in our next election, but who knows?
It's weird. It's really weird. The U.S. has always, I don't know, the U.S. had the luck, I guess you could say, during 2016 elections when Trump was elected, of at the time our institutions holding up to minimize the damage that was done, you know?
Mm-hmm.
But that gave them 4 years to basically pave the groundwork for what we're seeing today with the leaked opinion from the Supreme Court that came out regarding Roe versus Wade.
Great transition, my dude.
Should we get another 4 years of conservative control? It is very hard to know if we'll get the same result because of how many justices were nominated and put into judge seats over that 4 year period. You know, we have a number of like I can't remember where it was specifically. I think it was in Florida because of course it was, but a judge in particular who was making the news, Republican judge, because they were put as a lifelong position as a judge with basically no experience, solely because it seemed they were Republican and they would rule in a favorable way for the people appointing them.
Oh,
So our institutions held once, and we're starting to see the cracks, though. Even though we have Democrat control and other aspects, might not be enough. If you have a 6-3 majority that's willing to just be like, yeah, no, unconstitutional to whatever the fuck they want,
mm-hmm.
unless you can get a supermajority in the Senate and the House, which I believe is probably statistically impossible at this point. You know, it's a question of like, what does it even matter?
Nothing matters, dude.
Yep.
We
We are very rapidly approaching that.
unfortunately, vote.
Yep. Yep. It's shitty. Do more than vote. I would encourage anybody to do more than vote. But I know there's a lot of people who are very discouraged because that's been the cry for decades now. You know,
Yeah.
vote and change will happen. We haven't seen change yet. But yeah, it is one of many things that we can do, and it's a very important thing.
So one thing I've always found very frustrating is, yeah, voting is like, only works when you have a great majority voting for actual change.
Yep.
Problem is most people don't like change, and we
Yep.
have these amazing forums now where we can have like these mass communications and debates where ideas can be introduced so fast. But internet culture and all of its toxicity has made those forums very hard to use to their maximum potential. And sometimes I think that's great because of propagandic reasons. But at the same time, it's really good at making a spiral of silence of anybody that has like any changing opinions that are deviate from the norm too much than their own echo chamber circles.
It is super easy to get into an echo chamber now.
Yeah. They're called Facebook groups. It's distressing, really, but
It is. Recently in Magic Gathering, they announced a new secret lair product they're releasing called Pride Across the Multiverse. It is a feature of a bunch of Pride symbols and characters.
okay.
One of the notable cards, and I'll send you a picture, is a reprint of Bearscape, which is a very old card in Magic's history that has just never really gotten a reprint. But bear, of course, has very different connotations in LGBT plus communities. And they printed it under that different context.
Oh,
with different art.
Okay.
And which it's a bunch of gay guys in a hot tub.
Yes.
There's nothing sexual about it, unless you think that people can't be in a hot tub without being sexual. But it is cool, It's intimate for sure, but it is not any more sexualized than you want to choose to make it.
Yeah, this is like really a Rorschach test of how sexual you perceive all things. Because
it's a question of, do you think that a person being gay is enough to make them a sexual deviant? Because that's mostly what's been happening is people see gay guys without shirts on and they immediately think it's something sexual and they don't want sexual in their game, even though what they're really saying is they don't want gay people in their game.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
And usually this is where I would like use my tinge of irony, because that's my whole sense of humor, saying ironic, terrible things in deadpan ways.
Yep.
But after the Putin joke I just made, I'm legitimately afraid to say anything ironic about this.
No, it's legitimately a very cool thing to see.
Yes.
I know a lot of people in the community have been talking about it from a very positive side of just seeing a card that represents someone that looks like themselves, and that is always very important.
What I am threatened by is this man's chest hair, because my chest hair is not as nearly as magnificent as this.
Yeah.
So,
I love if you look in the background, there's just an actual bear just vibing.
oh shit.
It's great. It's just like an actual bear up on a rock, just chilling, and it's cool. It's awesome. I hope because they usually do like little bonus add-in stuff for these,
Hmm.
and I'm hoping that the bonus card for this is just that bear as the token that it makes. Is just the bear vibing.
I dig it.
Last piece that I have here.
Hmm.
Uh, Speaking of the Doctor,
Oh,
we have a
snap.
new Doctor,
Yes. Which,
Shuti Gatwa,
Chuti Gatois.
new Doctor Who. Um, 14th Doctor taking over from Jodie Whittaker. I don't believe we have any timelines.
I think it's next year they start.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but no specifics yet. Gatwa is known, Rwandan-born, known for his role in Netflix's sitcom Sex Education, which I have not seen, but I know is pretty popular.
So, I know the big elephant in the room, and I think we should address it.
Yes.
They're not native British, and you need to get over that, guys. Gatois is a very proud French name. That's the
Yes.
dumbest joke I've ever made.
Um, no, the real elephant is that he's an actor in a Netflix show that got a second season. What the hell's up with that?
Whoa. He's got to be really good to get one of those second seasons.
Oh yeah.
Fucking Bone got 0 seasons, and that's like a writing masterpiece.
So, in case viewer at home you don't know, the guy from Rwanda he's black. He's from Rwanda. So naturally, people are losing their minds over this as well.
And my dear Kyril, what's a Rwanda for all of our Statesian friends who don't know countries that well?
So that would be a country in Africa.
Africa ain't a country?
I know, right?
God, I said no more irony this episode. Damn it, I'm going to get flagged.
But yeah, people are of course losing their minds because it's like what we had when Jodie Whittaker was announced. It is the Doctor who is not a white man. So some number of people are, of course, being the pieces of shit that they are
And I
and
know
making a huge noise over it, over nothing.
Doctor Who's good. I haven't
It
really
is.
watched much of the Jodie Whittaker seasons because my cable went away, but it's on
Yep.
my HBO list.
Hmm. Like the fact that they did like what, 3 seasons ish,
Of Whittaker?
2, 3. Yeah,
You're going to have to
look it up.
find that
I'm
out
gonna look
because
it
I
up.
don't know on top of my head.
Jodie Whittaker. I'm just gonna look up Doctor Who seasons. I'm pretty sure it wasn't like a huge flop or anything. I know the season, the series as a whole, took a bit of a dip around over just like the last couple of years, like with the Capaldi stuff. It kind of waned a bit, but I mean, they're still making it, you know?
You know, Capaldi's my favorite Doctor, and it's probably going to be very hard for me to like accept another Doctor as my favorite for a while. But I will admit the Capaldi seasons were really where everything started going down a little bit, like
Yeah.
halfway through his run.
It's more just like a writing thing, really,
Yeah.
not a performance thing. It kind of felt like they ran out of steam because, like, in fairness, they've been doing it for 60 years.
Mm-hmm.
Jodie Whittaker had 3 seasons plus specials.
That's about the average Doctor length.
Which is, yeah, I mean that's typical. Like uh David Tennant, the proto doctor, had 3 seasons and
Yeah.
the specials. Matt Smith, he might have gotten crazy and done, nope, 3 seasons. It's what they do.
Yeah.
I think Eccleston is probably the only one who had less than that. He had 1 season.
McGillen, or whoever the Eighth Doctor is. He only had a movie.
Eighth Doctor. Paul McGann.
Paul McGann.
2 episodes. 2 stories, sorry.
Oh.
But yeah, same idea though. Yeah, it's very rare for them to do less than 3 seasons with the Doctor.
You see,
So
for all those who don't watch Doctor Who, this is like a new queen being knighted in Britain since the current queen never dies.
yeah,
Yeah. Who is your favorite Doctor?
I am very partial to Matt Smith.
Mm, good choice.
He was. I mean, it's honestly, it's like Pokemon. He was the Doctor when I watched it, so it's just what it is.
Mm,
You know, people's favorite Pokemon game tends to be the first one they played.
yeah.
It's the same idea.
I mean, I was in the Matt Smith era when I first started watching it, but it was like a
Mhm.
very late Matt Smith, so Capaldi was like my first Doctor I've ever
Mm.
transitioned to.
Yep.
But I think what really won me over was Capaldi's Heaven Bent and Hell Bent and Heaven Sent duology.
Mm-hmm.
But that those are like the 2 episodes of Doctor Who I remember most because Capaldi
That's
is
fair.
such a good fucking actor.
Yep.
But I'm ready for Gatois.
Yeah, it should be good.
Yeah.
I am waiting to see what they do with the Bond series. I want them to like either commit to the person that they cast as the new 007 or name who it is going to be next
Mm-hmm.
because I can't wait for the shit show that's going to end up being on Twitter. Like
What if they
the
do the safe
proto
thing and just
masculine white guy.
yeah? I was about to say,
Yeah,
what if they just do the safe thing and just do another white guy?
they might. I don't
Yeah.
know. It would be the safe thing to do.
Yeah.
Less assaults on their person on their people. I'm just waiting. People would lose their shit though,
Mm-hmm.
if and when that does happen. So, to that degree, I think it would be amusing.
Also, I don't think we need to say this, but we hinted at it a little slightly before we end the show. Uh, Roe versus Wade is a pretty cool idea from the Supreme Court, and I would like it if they did not take that idea away.
Yep. But it sure doesn't seem like that's gonna happen.
Shh. Just gotta voice our opinions.
Of note, where we are in Michigan, there is existing laws that would go into effect that would criminalize any abortion at all.
Yes.
And notably, our current would it be Secretary of State, not Secretary of State, Attorney General,
Attorney
who
General.
basically decides what laws get enforced or not, has said that they will not be enforcing that law. And that as long as she is Attorney General, abortion will not be criminalized in the state of Michigan. So for now, at least in Michigan, we're on tenuous ground, but the floor is not going to completely fall away. But if the writing on the wall comes to be, people are going to have to start being aware, and we'll see how it goes.
Mm-hmm.
I think we'll probably wait till next week to talk more about it because we're getting pretty close to time, and I do have quite a lot that I would like to say on it.
I mean,
But now is definitely the time for people to be reviewing where their own state stands and figuring out where they stand, because never too early to find an organization to support, look for ways to make changes in where you live, and to make sure that the women that we care about can have access to the health services that they need.
I'm the guy who has a podcast, and I feel it is my responsibility when something like this comes up to kind of point out some bullshit when I see it.
Yep.
Yep. Because as little as nobody's probably going to hear this, I do think it's very important to keep the message alive.
Mm-hmm.
But yes, we are coming up on time, so it's probably going to have to wait a little bit. Anything
We'll
else?
definitely talk more about it.
Yes. Anything else you would like to talk about today, Mr. Cairo, before we call it off?
That's all I got.
Cool. Well, I'm the infamous Orion, and I've been a Schmo.
Carol, I've been a Schmo.
And this has been the two Schmoes in the multiverse of mediocrity, baby.